Okay then guys, this is the 226 service going from Dudley to Merry Hill, and we're going via Russell Hospital, Pensnet, Kingswinford-Wall, Heath-Wordsley and Horbush, and we're travelling on the right street light door forward. So anyway, there's the Churchill precinct, and as you can tell, there's the Iceland store, and that used to be BT's department store back in the day, but BT's left the town in 2010, I believe, and I hope you enjoy the journey. And I believe that BT's department store had Otis escalators. I'm not sure what the brand of the lift was. Might have been an old Express. So anyway, there's the back end of what used to be Woolworths, and back end what used to be Marks and Spencer's, which is now a Wilkinson's. And Wilkinson's has been in Dudley for some time, and then of course you got Sheriff and Sons Superstore that used to be a Littlewoods clearance centre. And as you know, Littlewoods clearance centre remained in Dudley town ever since Littlewoods went into administration. So anyway, we've just gone past the Full Moon, the Wetherspoons pub in Dudley, and now we're at the back end of the old Co-op department store, which is now a traditional iconic building. And there's the back end of Top Church, St Thomas's, and so that's just, so we're now in King Street still. And we've just gone past the old Fiat garage. I believe that was a Fiat garage. Yeah, it was. It was an old car place. And now we're coming to the Lamp Tavern pub. So we're coming to the Lamp Tavern now. And between Dudley and Russell Hospital, the 226 is paired with the service number 6, which is the Stourbridge, which is the Dudley to Stourbridge service, which is a direct service connecting Dudley and Stourbridge beside the number 8. However, this one's a lot that one's a lot quicker than the 8 because it doesn't go into Merry Hill Shopping Centre, but it does go to Brierley Hill, which is then a short bus or walk away. So anyway, here we go. Just coming out of so we just come out of Dudley, and there is Wellington Road. That's the bottom of the Wellington Road in Dudley. So we're just now heading down to the iconic Pegasus Island. Now, as you probably know, the number 8 route comes up on the northbound direction. There is no southbound direction for the number 8 on this line because due to the fact that there's a bollard at the end of the roundabout that leads on to Woodside, meaning the 8 has to follow the 18 route down to Pear Tree Lane so it can join its line to go across to Woodside. So just continue to enjoy the journey so far on the 226 service bound for Merry Hill. So then we now come down to Pegasus Island, where that iconic horse sits in the roundabout area at the island with the wings on. So as you know, Pegasus has been on the island for good many years now, and he's always been a popular on the island. So you'll see Pegasus as we go around the island, and Pegasus is a very iconic horse. So there he is. There's Pegasus, just right there. So we've just gone past Pegasus, and we're now going down the A4101 that's going to lead us down to Russell Hospital. So Russell Hospital is coming down, so we're now following alongside the national grid as well, which are the power cables, the pylons. As you probably know, there's a lot of those pylons across different regions, like in Worcestershire, most of Staffordshire and Shropshire. I think there's some in Shropshire, something like these in Shropshire, but however might be different models. I know they've got some down on the south coast towards Dorset Way. So we're now entering the grounds of Russell Hospital. There is connection provided here with the X10 service to Gornal Wood, which we will follow as far as High Oak. And there's also connection to the number 6 service to Brierley Hill and Stourbridge. At the time of filming, Brierley Hill High Street is closed for resurfacing works. And the same applies with the number 2 service, so there is connection here with the 2s. There was at one time the 2A that went via Wallows Road, but the X10 service now serves Wallows Road. And of course there was also the 228 service bound for Kinver. But that is now only Stourbridge to Kinver, and that is now numbered the 242, which is run by Select Bus Services. And for a short time, from 2020 to 2021, it was operated by the Green Bus Company. So anyway, we're just now coming out of Russell Hospital. So we're just now pulling out of Russell Hospital, heading out. So we're just going round past the hospital entrance, the main entrance to the hospital. So we're just going past the hospital entrance. So anyway, so we've just gone past. So this is like, there are loads of buses that across the Midlands that go to different hospitals, like the Birmingham City Hospital, also to Wolverhampton New Cross, which is in Wednesfield, the Kidderminster General, the Redditch Alexandra, and the Worcester Royal, and there's also one at Wellington, which is the Princess Royal. So we've just gone round a roundabout, and we're now proceeding towards High Oak at Pensnet. So we're now paired up with the number 5 service, which we did earlier, which is the one towards Kingswinford. So if you hadn't watched that video, check that one out. And so it's really great that the 226 follows with the 5. Before, you had a direct competition with NX, and now Diamond has taken over a lot of their services now. So it's really interesting to see Diamond doing a handful of services on these new contract services. So I'm so happy to see how Diamond has really improved these new services across the West Midlands. Alright then, we're now coming down towards High Oak, right now on the 226. So we're just now coming down towards High Oak, Pensnet. So we're now coming down towards High Oak. So we're now going to go under another set of National Grid power cables. As you know, the power cables do lead over towards Brierley Hill Way at Round Oak, where they terminate. However, there's also another set that start on Pear Tree Lane and just run between Pear Tree Lane and Merry Hill. So there is good sets of power cables across the West Midlands. There are larger ones that are located in the countryside area, which march through the Staffordshire area and lead into Worcestershire. And there's also a batch of them in Shropshire, when there's also 2 that have joined together. And they're seen off on the main Rabbit Run service and lead out onto the corridor of the 113 from Telford to Bridgnorth and the 115 from Weston Heath to Bridgnorth. And also they're seen on the little lanes on the 114 from Telford to Bridgnorth and the 116 from Telford to Bridgnorth. They're also seen on the number 9 service from Wolverhampton to Bridgnorth and the number 8 service from Telford to Bridgnorth. And also, the larger power cables are seen on the 125 from Stourbridge to Bridgnorth and the 192 from Halesowen to Kidderminster. They're also seen on the 133 from Kidderminster to Droitwich, along with the 52 from Kidderminster to Redditch, and also they're seen on the 303 service from Kidderminster to Worcester. And there's also larger ones out on the 296 service from Bewley to Worcester, even the 294 from Kidderminster to Worcester. And they're also on the 291 service from Kidderminster to Tenbury Wells. And I think they're also on the 758 as well. I'm not 100% sure unless they're just the smaller ones. But I am going to go on Yarrington's again, hopefully, fingers crossed this year. And I have got penciled in the 142 and the 142A coming up on the channel, so I have got them penciled in. So please stay tuned for that, guys, here on Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. Until then, guys, hope you're all okay and looking after yourselves. And we have got more and more videos to come very soon, so I will let you know which videos will be uploaded next. So we are going to succeed with more and more videos. Okay then, guys, we just now come off High Oak Pensnet and onto Commonside, and we're now on Tiled House Lane. So we're now paired up with the 15 service from Merry Hill to Wolverhampton that goes through Wombourne. So as you know, the 15 used to be the 255, and also the evening services is the Sunday service, is the 15A, which used to be known as the 255A. There used to be an additional 255E and 15E that only went as far as Blaze Park, but that, I believe, stopped in 2020. And as you probably know, the 15E is only rarely used these days. It depends on short workings to certain destinations. So we're now on Tiled House Lane. So this is Tiled House Lane on 226. So we're now going to be turning on Tiled House Lane, and this is going to take us towards Bromley. So we're going to be heading to Bromley. So as you probably know, we're at 965 subscribers. So that is brilliant that we're now at 965 subs, and that's brilliant. So us at Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures have done really well. Even though the channel did have a break due to obvious reasons, but we are still being part of the team here on Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. So we have got more and more videos to come very soon, so please stay tuned, guys. Anyway, we're now heading to turn to the right. So we're now turned to the right, and we're now coming on to Bromley. So we're now coming on to Bromley now. So as you probably know, there is another Bromley, and that's located in Kent, which is down south of London. So that's south of London. So as you probably know, Bromley, Kent is like south of London, or possibly southeast of London. So as you probably know, we're just past the Prospect Coach. And as you know, I do like a bit of the Prospect coaches myself. I do love a bit of coaches as well as me buses, trains, planes and elevators as well. And so anyway, we're now going to go into Bromley now, and we're then going to take the slope that's going to take us down towards and that's going to take us down towards the bottom, where we'll lead ourselves into Kingswinford. Now there used to be at one time the 226A. There is now the 226A that operates the evening and Sunday timetable, and that is basically the original 226, the one we used to know. As this 226 now serves Wall Heath, and of course it basically does half of the 57 route, which is the Wall Heath to Stourbridge. But this service does not go onto Brierscroft Estate compared to the 57 corridor. So here we go. Okay then guys, here we go. We're just now heading across Bromley now. Bromley Lane, which is imparting with Kingswinford. So we're now imparting with Kingswinford now. So this is going to take us on to the next upcoming turn. So the next upcoming turn will then be heading onto the Rangeway Road. So this is going to take us onto the Rangeway Road. That's going to take us down to the bottom. So as you probably know, the next upcoming video is going to be the 17, where we are going to do the 25 service from Dudley, from Stourbridge up to Dudley, and of course we're going to be doing we're actually also going to do so we're going to do the 25 from Stourbridge up to Dudley, and of course we'll do the 17 from Dudley back down to Stourbridge. So we're going to now go past the water tower, which is located on the Rangeways estate. And we're also going to go past the site of the old Worsley Hospital. But however, these days, it's now been turned into a housing estate. So anyway, here we go. We're now... so we're going to go on to the Auckland now. So we're going to head on to the Auckland, and when we get to the bottom, we'll turn right into Kingswinford. So then, here we go. We're on the Auckland Road. So we're just by the Worsley Hospital. So then, we're just by the Worsley Hospital right now. Well, it was the Worsley Hospital. It's now a housing estate, but however, there are still some iconic buildings that survive from the demolition when they demolished the old hospital, and that includes the iconic clock tower, and of course some old buildings, and even the iconic chimney. So as you probably know, you might have heard about Ben OBVE with his YouTube channel, and he goes on about old stuff all the time, like old hospitals. And he also talks about loads of old abandoned things and what has happened to them. So if you want to watch his channel, you can feel free to pop onto YouTube and make sure you subscribe to his channel as well as mine. To be honest, I like a bit of Ben OBV YouTube channel because he does some great channel. Now, as you probably know, we just come to the bottom of the hill. So we're just approaching the bottom of the hill. Well, we're heading towards the bottom end. So this is now going to take us... we're now going to turn to the right. And this is going to take us into Kingswinford. So we're now on the Stream Road. So this is the Stream Road that's going to take us into the centre of Kingswinford. So anyway, there's a Danish Trident LX 400. And that's working for the 16 service, which used to be the 256 from Wolverhampton to Stourbridge. And that is in a crimson livery. Now, before, Wolverhampton didn't have the Crimson Tridents. The Crimson Tridents were at Pensnet and Walsall Depot. But however, most of them got shifted over to Wolverhampton in 2020. And that was really interesting to see some Crimson Tridents over at Wolverhampton Depot. So then guys, we're now heading in the direction towards Kingswinford on the 226. So we're joined up with the 16 service, which is the Stourbridge to Wolverhampton service. And as you probably know, The only NX routes that now serve Kingswinford is the 15 corridor from Merry Hill to Wolverhampton, and of course the 16 service from Stourbridge to Wolverhampton. As the 5 is now operated by Diamond Bus, the Kingswinford to Dudley, and of course the 17 and 17A, which are the Stourbridge to Dudley services. And also the 57 from Stourbridge to Woolheath, Briarscroft. So we're just coming into Kingswinford on the 226, and we're gonna then head up towards Woolheath. And also the 5A is now operated by Diamond Bus, which is the Dudley to Woolheath service. So anyway, there's the Swan pub at Kingswinford. So just coming into the centre of Kingswinford now. So this is Kingswinford coming up, where there's good road shops, which is just outside of Wordsley and Stourbridge. So anyway, there's a Volvo B7R Rally right clips urban body heading for Stourbridge direction. As you probably know, a few minutes away from Kingswinford is of course the Pensnet bus depot for NXWM that runs the services 2s from Merry Hill to Dudley, and also some short workings on the 4H Haley Green to Halesowen, and also the 7 from Wollaston to Dudley, 9s Stourbridge to Birmingham. So anyway, here we are. This is Kingswinford High Street. So there's Manor Park just right there where the number 5 service terminates, and the short working 17s. And there's another Prospect coach. It's just gone past us. And here we are at the Cross pub, which is now a Weatherspoons, also to be once known the Arizona Crossing. And then we're going to go past Mossgrove Surgery, and then we're going to get to the Stallings Lane Junction, where we'll turn left into Woolheath. So then we're now joined up with the 15 corridor, Merry Hill to Wolverhampton, which is going to follow us to Woolheath, along with the 16 Stourbridge to Wolverhampton, and also the 17, which comes by Bellevue, which joins with the original 17, which is now the 17A. And that was known as the 257. The 15 was the 255A, because that's now the 15A, the 255A, while the 16 was known as the 256. And of course the 57 also joins us, and on this section it was the 657, but then it got replaced by the 267. And then the 267 became the number 5. So the 5A came this way up to Woolheath. And of course, Diamond used to do their 5 up this way up until 2019, when they lost the contract and they stopped running the 5 on Sundays. So that means Sunday no longer has a number 5 running across High Oak end. The only route that crosses High Oak on Sundays is the 226A, because the X10 I don't think runs on Sunday. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think that runs on Sunday that in that direction, but the rest of it, which is the Birmingham one, does run on Sundays. So anyway, we're now coming into Woolheath, which was recently been added onto the route once again. So here we are coming to Woolheath. So this is Woolheath, and then we're going to go down towards the Hickories at the Kingfisher. Hickory Smokehouse, which used to be known as the Kingfisher. So we're heading towards the Kingfisher now on the 226A. So then, guys, we are now going to turn left in Woolheath now, where the 57 service goes which is the Woolheath to Stourbridge, and goes by the Brierscroft estate. But this service does not go through the Brierscroft. So turning right, that is for the 15 service to go through Himley. The 16 used to go that way, but that turns that way where that truck had just gone across. That goes straight where the 15 used to go to serve the Woolheath Blaze Park. So anyway, there's a small kind of roundabout. So anyway, we're now heading towards the Kingfisher end now. So we're heading down towards the Kingfisher on the service 226. So it's really great now that the 226 is now running to Woolheath, and it's really great that Dudley's got a frequent Woolheath service. However, there is the 17, but that's only every hour, and Merry Hill has also got another Woolheath link, so you've got a choice of 2 routes now to Woolheath, either the 15 or the 226. But however, towards the end of this video, my camera ran out of memory, so I had to do a virtual part, which I'm gonna add on to this due to the fact because I didn't have enough storage to complete the full route. But however, I'm gonna do a comparison video on what buses are quick between Kingswinford, which are quicker between Kingswinford and Merry Hill. So it'll either be the 15 or the 226. So anyway, we're just going past the Brierscroft. As you can see, a little bit of rural on the opposite side. But however, it's not like a full countryside as you would expect on routes like the rural routes like the 242, for example. So we're now heading down towards the Summer Hill, where we'll then go onto Cop Lane before we go onto Ashwood Park. And then we'll come out at Wordsley by Holy Trinity Church. So here we go, guys. We're now coming towards the Summer Hill. So here we are at the Summer Hill right now, and we're going to be heading across to Wordsley. So then, guys, here we go. We're now going to head onto Cot Lane now. So we're going to head onto Cot Lane on the 226. So we're now joined up with the original 226, which is now known as today's 226A. So we're heading. So we're just now heading for. So we're just heading for the direction towards Wordsley now. So we're coming towards Wordsley on the 226A. So this is our trip now. So we're heading on the 226A. Now we're going to come across here on Tuesday, all being good, for the 17 service, which is the Dudley to Stourbridge service. So we'll be doing the 17 route on Tuesday coming up, all being good. But the first thing first, I'll just have to free up my space, the memory first, on my videos, so I can get ready for the next upcoming videos when I upload on this YouTube channel, Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. So we are going to get more and more videos on the channel very soon. So here we go, guys. Let's continue our journey. Okay then, guys, as you know, the 17 is turned off to serve the Kingsley estate, while the 226 carries on towards the end of this road, and then he's going to turn right, and then we'll join up with the 17 as we serve Ashwood Park, and we'll follow that as far as Wordsley, while the 17 will then carry on straight to serve Stourbridge, while we'll turn left to go over towards Horbush. So we'll be on our way towards Horbush area. So here we go on the 226. So I hope you're all doing okay, and we're at 965 subscribers. So we have got more and more videos to come. So we are just proceeding towards Wordsley. So we're heading towards Wordsley now. So we are coming to so we're going to turn to the right. So we're going to turn to the right right now. So we're going to turn to the right. So we're now going to turn right as we come towards Wordsley Park. So we're going to head towards Wordsley Park, which is at the next turn-off point. So this is Wordsley Park. So we're going to turn... So we're just about to turn right, just waiting... So anyway, here we are now turning right, so we're now going upwards on the 226. So here we go, we're now going... so we're now heading upwards. So the next... so we'll be joining up with the 17 when it comes off Mount Pleasant. When it comes out of Mount Pleasant, and we'll follow that across the Ashwood Park. And here's a row of shops here. So here's a row of shops, and there's a pub. So there's a row of shops, and here we are. We've now rejoined with the 17 just at the next junction, and that is going to continue, and that's going to join us all the way. So going straight, no buses go down there, and if you go further down that road, it goes into Lawnswood, past the Roadier pub, and then goes towards the Ashwood Nurseries, over the Ashwood Marina. And then after the Ashwood Marina, it then carries on to go over the navigation, then goes up a set of roads, and then goes up the Camp Hill, and then goes to the top, and then you end up in the Highgate Common. And then after the Highgate Common, you then head towards the airport, which is... Wolverhampton Business Airport at Hackney Green, Bobbington, and of course on that end there's a one-armed telegraph pole. And then you go past the old Royal Oak pub, and then you then go on to the nearby Lee's Farm, which also has Lee's Farm shop, and then you come towards the Rabbit Run, where you're partially joined on with the number 9 service from Wolverhampton to Bridgnorth. And then as you go along the Rabbit Run, you're on partially the 114 Telford to Bridgnorth and the 116 Western Heath to Bridgnorth. And then after that, you then get to shift to Sutton Maddock, where the 113 from Bridgnorth to Telford comes along, and of course the 115 Bridgnorth to Western Heath. And then by the time you get to that big island, you end up in Telford. So, and then when you get into Telford Town Centre, you're joined with the 891 service from Wolverhampton. So anyway, we're now on the Ashwood Park now, so the number 17 has now rejoined us. And so as you know, the 17 used to be the 267 on this part, and it was the short-lived number 5 route. So we're now following the 17 all the way towards Wordsley. So anyway, we're just now turning left. So as you know, the 17, when it was an X, they couldn't use double deckers due to obvious reasons, so they put on ADL Enviro 200s. The only route that would have took the deckers was the 17A route. It was only deckers full time when it was just run by Wolverhampton. When it was run by Wolverhampton Depot, when it used to interwork the 16. The 5 couldn't take the double deckers down here because obvious reasons, so they had to use ADL Enviro 200s. But when Diamond did it as the 267, they put on Dennis Starts, Up-Tear Solos, and ADL Enviro 200s as well. And when it was Hanson's, they used Dennis Starts. And now, since Diamond does it, they put on street lights and quite a few buses. They even put Pulsars on, which are like the same length as the B7s. But however, They are a little bit big for the Kingsley estate, but I'm sure they'd manage to get round there, because I've never seen an NX B7 do that route, because NX never took the B7s on the 17, it was just the ADL Enviro 200s. And as you know, street lights are usually built for these new routes these days, and as you know, I do like the street lights, because I know they are modern and very efficient, and I do like the motor inside them. So anyway, we're continuing on our journey into Wordsley. Okay then guys, we're now coming into Wordsley now. So we're just going to go past Wordsley Green. So there's Wordsley Green right there on the 226, heading in the direction to Bromley Hill. So we're just going to come by the old Cat Inn pub. So there's the Sainsbury's local at Wordsley. That used to be the Red Lion pub. And as you probably know, you'll see Holy Trinity Church. So Holy Trinity Church is going to be behind those trees. So there's Holy Trinity Church right there. And there's also another one further down on the 17 route, which is at Amblecote, which faces in the direction towards Stourbridge. And beyond Holy Trinity Church is the iconic Red House Cone, which is one iconic Black Country landmark. So you got the Red House Cone, which is beyond here, but however the 226 doesn't serve the cone. That's only the 17, the 16s and the 57. So anyway, we're now going down to the bottom of the hill, and we're going to turn left. So we're going to be turning left when we get to the bottom of this hill. So we're now turning to the bottom. So we're now coming to the bottom of this hill, and we're now heading up. So here we go. Upwards on the 226 now. So we're now going along. So as you know, these street lights were introduced onto the 226 in 2019 to replace the Optare Solo SRs, which were introduced onto the 226 the previous year. There was only 3 Optare Solo SRs that were branded for the 226, 350 and 351. They were transferred to Kidderminster, and then of course we got 20920, which is now 20919, which is based at Redditch Depot, and that was, I believe, an ex-Wessex Hallmark Optare Solo SR, but I believe that was Hallmark, even though it looked like Wessex, because Hallmark and Wessex are Diamond's sister company. And these street lights were also introduced at the same time when they introduced them for the 002 service, the Merry Hill to Wheeley Castle. And as you know, it's good that we got these new low emission vehicles with Euro 6 specification, because as you know, these buses are built for clean air zones, low emission zones. So the majority of the buses, like the old Optare buses, like the Optare Solos, they can just focus on routes that are needed for them. As you know, I do love the Optare Solos. They're lovely buses. Even the ADL Enviro 200s and the Denny Start buses as well. Okay then guys, we're now coming round to Horbush on the 226, and we'll be joining up with the 25 service, the Dudley to Stourbridge run. And that service used to be the 250 and 251 at the Merry Hill Circulars, and that's also a diamond route. And previously, when it was the 250, 251, it was diamond, and way before that, it was Hanson's local buses. As you know, Hanson's used to do the 226 as well. So anyway, we're now coming round into Horbush now, and we're going to turn to the right, and then we're going to turn left, and then follow the 25. The 25 then turns off to serve Brockmore, but I'm not sure if it comes past the Silver Chimney anymore, which is the chimney that's just outside of Brockmore, but that's because I have not yet done the 25. I am going to do it in both directions at some point, but I'm not going to do it all on the same day. I'm going to do it on separate days. So anyway, here we go. We're now coming through the Horbush estate on the Horbush Road. So this is going to take us to the top of the hill. And if it was a double-decker or Volvo B7 RLE, you would have seen the Silver Chimney in front of you, which is located at the top of the hill. And that is where the factories are located, just outside of Brockmore, which are like industrial buildings. So anyway, we're now climbing up to the top of the hill, and we're going to turn to the right, and then we're going to go on to Moore Street. And Moore Street is going to take us up to Brierley Hill. So this is going to take us up to Brierley Hill. So here we go. We're now going up towards Brierley Hill now, and I hope that you enjoy the journey. So we're now at 965 subscribers, so that is amazing. 965. So let's keep going. So we're going up through Moore Street, and that's going to take us up to Brierley Hill Town Centre. So it's going to take us up to Brierley Hill Town Centre. And once again, as you probably know, my camera ran out of memory throughout the rest of the journey, so I had to do it virtual. So anyway, we're now coming up right now. So here we go. This is Moore Street, so we're just now approaching Brierley Hill Town Centre. So we're just approaching Brierley Hill Town Centre, which is right up ahead, and then we're going to head into the Merry Hill. So we're going to be heading into the Merry Hill, where the service will terminate. Okay then guys, so we're just coming up Moore Street now, and we're just going past the Moore Centre in Brierley Hill. So there's the Moore Centre in Brierley Hill, and we're just now going to head towards Merry Hill. So then guys, we're now in Bromley Hill, just by the Moore Centre, and we're just coming towards Merry Hill. So we're now on the approach to Merry Hill. So thank you very much for watching the 226 video, and hope that you enjoyed it, and we will be doing more and more videos very soon in a not too distant future. So here we go, we're now coming towards our final terminus, which is of course Merry Hill. So we're coming to Merry Hill, which is our final terminus of the service. So anyway, we're just now on the approach to Merry Hill, where the service will terminate. So thank you very much for watching guys, hope you enjoyed it, and we will be uploading more and more videos very soon. So please keep your eyes peeled when I get more and more exciting videos here on Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. So keep watching guys, yes, keep watching, and we will upload even more videos very soon. Okay then guys, we are just heading down towards Merry Hill Shopping Centre. So we're just coming into the terminus at Merry Hill, and I hope you enjoyed the journey all the way from Dudley. Sorry about that it had to be done virtual. This was due to the fact that my camera ran out of memory. Thank you for watching.